You're unarmed, fighting against an animal. Which ones could you beat in combat? 2,000 people were asked this very simple question. The result? Turned out people are stupid. Here's the list we're going over. I shouldn't be this upset, but how do 28% of people believe they can't beat a rat? We're going to assume the rat hasn't got anything like a perk such as a bubonic plague, because we're talking about an unarmed combat sort of situation right now, and that rat would be breaking the Geneva Code. Here's my advice for the 28% of people that believe they can't beat a rat. Slide on the Dark Martens and get to work. Even if it's the largest species of rat, which is the Samatran bamboo rat. Come on, this old lady is manhandling that rat right now. She could just hammer throw it into the soil. There's no debate here. This should be 100%. If we were incapable of beating rats, we'd simply just not be here right now. You know New York City, which is the only city I know that has a rat problem. I believe there are 5 rats for each person. If rats were this strong, New York City would be a wasteland, just bones everywhere. This one's just as bad. 31% of people actually believe a house cat could defeat them. Now, we'll ignore the Maine Coon. That's one hell of a cat. Like, the only person I know to have one, he wanted a dog and she wanted a cat, and this was their middle ground. You'd think a scientist experimented on this animal just to enlarge it. It's actually ridiculous. But we'll go for the classic common house cat. I was looking to see the cause of death, just to see maybe if it dies because someone accidentally sat on it, but I accidentally found this. Many cat owners think when Many cat owners think when a cat goes off to die, it's a peaceful death. This is often not the case. Many cats will suffer for hours or even days before they die. I hope that sits well with you. Anyway, back to the battleground. The cat does not stand a chance. I see it trying to go for your leg to try and make its way to your neck. Because like a lion, I imagine it wants to go for the jugular. That's their method of choice. I just believe, once again, this is a creature you can grab with one hand and finish off with the other. I think even if you just covered your neck, it would probably take the cat like more than an hour to kill you, right? It would take it a long time. What are the bets that the people who said yes are the people who are like, I would just let it kill me? Goose. Now, I was trying to look up data to see how many people died each year to these creatures, but I just found this on Reddit. So he's talking about struggling to collect data, and do you know why he thinks we struggle to get data? I do think the average person has the sense to run away from an approaching goose, though... What? Who's running away from it? Living in fear of our waterfowl overlords. Perfect. At the very least, an American has no chance against a flying goose that attacks first. They can fly up to 60 miles per hour, then hit alone from a dive bomb that would take out the average man. Now, don't get me wrong, I actually had this fear over seagulls. I always thought, oh my god, you know what a seagull could do? It could just fly, dive, and go right into your skull. But here's the actual comment on that, right? No bird has ever done that. No bird is doing that, okay? Let's try and act as if it will fight naturally and not just dive bomb you. If you're an adult willing to wring its neck, the fight would be over in 2 seconds. This guy summed it up pretty well. What would win, a 7-pound flying bag of sticks and feathers, or a loathing 220-pound mass of furious hairless ape? Oh my god, this guy's overweight. How does a fat man fare? Damn right, he's treating it like a coat. He's like, dude, I am surrounded by a fat force field. There you go. I mean, if I trip and fall on the goose, it's game over for him. I think we can summarize this as the goose has 0 chance. Okay, next on the list, you have the medium dog, where 49% of people actually believe they'd win, and a large dog, where 23% of people believe they'd win. If it goes for your testicles, you've lost. Let's get that one out of the way. I'm not sure if it's their natural instinct, but it definitely is for a hyena. Now, dogs typically have one weapon, right? Their jaw. And their jaw can bite at 400 psi, where the human can bite around 200 psi. But usually a dog will actually bite an animal by its limb, and it usually won't let go, and I think that's your best opportunity to actually grab it, and you'll have to go for its eyes or something, or try and get on top. So for a medium dog, I'd easily say the human will always win. But when it comes to a large dog, because when it gets heavier and it gets stronger and when its charge can actually start to knock you down, that's when you're really going to have a big problem. I don't really know what to think about it. Let's just look online. Okay, so here we have an article, German Shepherd versus human, who would win? A German Shepherd would win in a fight against a human in the case of life or death. In general, dogs have faster reflexes and superior fighting instincts. German Shepherds can crush human bone with their strong bite. That's a pretty big disadvantage. And their large pointy canines can easily cut into human arteries. Oh, okay. Yeah, it gets worse with size, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna put it lower. Okay, because if we take 100 people, how many people out of those 100 people are decently trained? And I mean, I've gone to boxing gyms and not a lot of people go, so I'm gonna go. Let's go 10 to 5%. 10 to 5%. I actually found this really cool story on JRE about a dog, so I'll quickly play it.
There was a guy that used to work at this pet store that I go to, and he also worked in a veterinary center, medical place, and a pit bull came in, one of those big jack pit bulls, just covered in cuts all over its body. And the owner was, they asked the owner, like, what the fuck happened? He goes, I don't know. He goes, I came home and he's covered in cuts. I really have no idea what happened to him. So they stitched the dog up, like hundreds of stitches all over the dog's body. Then he takes a walk outside of his house and he follows his dog's blood. And he goes up into the hills near his house and he finds 9 dead coyotes. That pit bull was gangster.
Yeah. Okay, so we have the eagle where 30% of the people think they'd win. The eagle, so their claws are typically 2 inches long. Now, usually, if something is under 3 inches, you can actually take that in most parts of your body before it becomes significantly fatal. I just think the moment it comes at you, you just grab it and you just kind of go to work. I'm gonna look this up though, because 30% sounds ridiculous. Or am I just really missing some piece of information right now? So after the punch, which will at least destabilize the eagle, the human can grab onto the eagle's wing and swing it around, smack it against the ground over and over. We're in complete harmony right now. I don't know if this is some sort of natural human instinct or natural fighting instinct, because I've already said it, where we just grab animal and just go like Hulk smash, ooga booga, ooga booga. Next on the list we have chimpanzees, and the website treats it like a match attack, so let's just go over it. Their bite strength is it's a lot better than ours, dude. It's not 10 times, but it's definitely 8. Yeah, they have their bite, they have their fangs, but they can use their arms and whatnot, similar to how we do. But the issue with, say, a chimpanzee is their desire is to fight dirty. They're the biggest dirty fighters you'll find. They'll go for your hand, your ears, your, like, anything, your eyes. You're not getting away clean in that sort of fight. And when I think about it, because if it's, say hand on hand, right, people are like, yeah, but I'll be rational and I'll strike properly, okay? Most people don't know how to even throw a punch without breaking their wrist, in all fairness. And when you look at this sort of animal right here, this animal's in an environment that has consistently been hand-on-hand combat, where we went through an environment that became weapons and spears and swords, and we just didn't have to develop that, say, emotional programming as much, and it kind of just began to deteriorate over time. So I just think the idea we can even beat a chimp is unrealistic, even when you look at their muscles, right? Because you think, oh, okay, we're bigger, we're taller. Chimps' muscles are a lot more denser than ours. It might even say it somewhere around here if we go to muscle size. Yeah, here we go. Their muscles contain more fast twitch fibers. Yep, so we're going to be... and we have more slow twitch, which basically means we're much better at, say, long distance running, but they're going to be better at short distance running. And when it's a fight, you probably want a lot more fast twitch than you do slow twitch. That kind of gives you way more knockout power. I know it doesn't look scary, but don't be put off by it when it opens its... Wait, okay, scary chimp. Jesus. Whoa, look at him! You'd think some of these things have been working... Dude, he's got more fucking hell. Dude, that's an arm, alright? Do you know how many people have arms like this? Holy, it is just so jacked. Oh my god, the hairless chimp in a big... Are those its bollocks? You're kind of fighting like a strong athletic man who's just on all fours. That's the main difference, and it's got a better bite than you do. And it's going to be using it. It knows how to fight way more dirty. It is a strong man on all fours and makes up these because most animals will try and be intimidating. They want to expand their body. But this one does not mind just like crouching down. It's not like a human where if you're big, you have to walk around with your arms out just to really prove a point. This one's like, I'm happy to curl up because I'll still beat your ass. I can't get over that photo. Is that real? Animal Adventure and Jungle Explorer. Primate Specialist. It is a real photo. It's Bigfoot. In case you're wondering what a hairless chimpanzee looks like, you can see why large males are said to be around 1.5 to 4 times stronger than the average person. Chimps have longer muscle fibers than humans and more fast-twitch muscle tissues. This allows for a higher force and power. I think what he's trying to summarize is you're going to get messed up. Okay, the king cobra. Let's talk about its bite. As the idea you cannot get bitten is kind of delusional. Because most snakes, they can really twist their bodies. It's almost like one big strand of flexible muscle. And that's why when people often handle a snake, they'll often use a stick. Or they'll grab them by the head. So let's just quickly read up on their venom. They have a powerful psychotoxic and neurotoxic venom. It will affect your nervous system. You'll feel pain, blurred vision, drowsiness, and potential paralysis. Their bite can put you into a coma and give you respiratory failure. Once that bites you, you have 30 minutes to live. Tolerant people, 28% of a chance of death. Others 50 to 60. Now, people might take this as a note that, oh wait, that means I have a chance of living. I gotta kill it before the poison gets to me. But usually when a snake will first bite you, it won't empty its entire poison gland, just in case another predator is actually around. So when it comes to this sort of fight, which we're going to be having with this snake, it's more likely that it's going to empty its entire venom gland within you. But it's definitely going to give you enough to cause paralysis. It's going to put you into a coma. It's going to cause respiratory failure. So I'm going to say it's not really happening. I think most of the time it will end up in a draw. Don't get me wrong, you'll get bit, but then you'll kill the snake. But we're not going to count a draw. So effectively, you always lose, right? I think a more interesting fight would actually be a constrictor, right? As the size, up to a size, you kind of have a chance. I mean, the ones that kill crocodiles and deers, you don't really need a dog to react to even get an idea on what that's going to be like. Your ribs are going to break. They're going to then get pushed into your internal intestines. And at that point, I don't really think the doctor's literature will even be able to go over that style of brutality. But here's a little fun fact. The biggest snake is actually the Titan boa. And that was about 14 meters long and it weighed over a ton. Now, I don't know a lot about kangaroos, so I'm going to go find an Australian online to break it down. So here is how the fight goes down. The kangaroo approaches you. You swing a hit at its head. The kangaroo takes the punch easily. The kangaroo grabs your head, digging its four-limb claws into your skin, and pushes your head down. You manage to push away from the kangaroo. The kangaroo balances on its tail and kicks you in the chest. Half your ribs are cracked, and you suffer a tear down your chest. You stagger backwards. The kangaroo again attacks, this time tearing your belly open. You lie in a surgical ward wishing you had a gun instead. Oh yeah. You be disemboweled, buddy. Okay. I'm gonna say, you can't beat a kangaroo. Okay. Wasn't there a war? War against kangaroos. Oh no, it was an emu war. In Australia, emus became such a problem that they actually had to set the army on them. And the army lost. Okay, so some people believe you can actually kill a wolf. I mean, we're talking about a dog that wasn't evolved into something pathetic. This is a creature that once it bites you, it's pulling and going for your neck. There's no like dumbed down physical or psychological evolution part of the animal which we did to it. Because even a dog can chew through a bone, right? I actually just fed my dogs a bone earlier. So if this bites you, whatever body part it bites, it's breaking. But people are actually like debating this. Some people believe like, yeah, but we're humans strong ape. Like here's probably the reality of how it goes down, right? Here's what you're thinking. I'm gonna put my weak arm in front, and here's the like wolf. And it's gonna break your arm. You're gonna be there like, it's not happening. Like, if you think you can beat a wolf, I just don't see it. Like, here are some people. Okay, I'm going to find some photos of people that are, like, sitting next to a wolf. Because I don't think you even understand how big it is. It can literally stand on all four, or on two legs and be taller than a person. I think this is I think people might think they can, because usually what happens online is they take away all the bad animal attacks. And then you have these people that say, well, I've never seen a video of a wolf killing a person. It's like, oh, it's out there. And it does not look good. This list is now really starting to get bad. I'm just saying right now, because 9% of people believe they can beat a crocodile. Like, the only way is to probably hold its mouth closed. Usually it will have a very strong bite. I believe it to be 20 times stronger than a person's bite. But it's opening its mouth very weak, so you might be able to hold its mouth down. But you have to remember, it's got really thick skin, so you're not really going to cause any damage to it, especially when you're holding its mouth, and you never know if it's just going to rip its mouth away from you, because usually people also hold its legs and its entire body. So the idea that you're going to even get away with that is quite difficult. You could probably go through its eyes, and then what? You're just kind of like it's going to take longer to kill you at that point. I mean, there are villages like where they're missing limbs because a crocodile will happily hunt people. Like, a crocodile isn't going to hunt a prey that 1 out of 10 times is going to get killed by it. You don't have people in the village there going, they're lost limbs. Yeah, but Fred, 1 out of 10 people knocks it out. Like, no. There was this war, right, where the Japanese were holding Ramri. It's like an island. When the Allies actually came in and then, the Japanese had to retreat. Over 2 days, 1,000 soldiers were eaten by crocodiles. And these were like soldiers, and they had guns and weapons, and they were eaten by them. A gorilla. You know that scene in the Tarzan real life film where he just like runs at the gorilla and they just charge one another and they like shoulder barge or arm barge? He died during that scene, and if he didn't die in that scene, he died when the like gorilla was like, ooh, poof. Look, it's coming at you. It's jagged, it's hairy, it's pounding its chest, it has fangs. You're not living. You're not beating this monkey. I don't even need to give it any more comment. That's such a ridiculous claim. And then, the list is getting so insane. Okay, elephants, right? I believe it or not, 8% people, I'm losing my mind. 8% of people think that they can take on an elephant. Look, here's a video of an elephant charging a buffalo. Now imagine you're the buffalo here. They can literally lift you up with their bloody snout, their trunk. But I do want to say, out of all the animals I've actually reviewed, these are probably one of the most beautiful, if I have to be honest. Similar with dogs, it's very strange when you meet an animal that has that level of compassion, like that strong capability of love in a way. A lion. I mean, at this point, you might as well believe you have an exoskeleton because your skin is flesh. I don't know if people have experienced how easily they can get cut, and if they don't think one swipe with a lion claw is just gonna, like, tear them apart as if they're butter, then, oh no. Like, people have been sharing these, like, pictures of people fighting lions as if, dude, do you know that back in the day in Rome that, people used to fight lions bare-handed, or... Like, no, they were sacrifices. They were sacrifices. That's why they actually sent convicts and Christians to fight the lions. They wouldn't throw a gladiator in there unless he had multiple gladiators with him, or the stars aligned somehow. And then the bear, dude, out of all the animals that don't give a shit about you, that just don't care about you, it could just hear you scream and it would keep on eating. I don't know if you've ever listened or heard about these bear attack stories. I mean, I was watching a podcast on Spotify, it was called Tooth and Claw, and sometimes they just talk, you have this someone who was mauled down, the bear probably ate like 20% of him, left him alive, stranded there, half eaten. It's a horrible animal. At least other animals have the courtesy to like finish you off or at least kill you while they're eating you. They're similar to a Komodo dragon. A Komodo dragon just keeps eating you when you're alive. If you want to see how similar they are, they're incredibly similar. There was a video of a Komodo dragon eating a pregnant deer alive. It pulled out its fowl and then swallowed it whole. That is like the heartlessness of the animals we're talking right now. They actually recommend that you get, I want to say this, they recommend you get in the fetal position, assuming you don't have bear spray, because a bear's nose is like 50 times more powerful than a dog's. So like pepper spray, it just smells that shit and it goes like, oh. But yeah, your advice is to crawl up into the fetal position and pray that it doesn't eat enough of you, such that once it's done breaking your limbs and breaking your arms and everything, that maybe you can walk away to safety. Their literal advice is become so worthless even maybe the bear pities you and doesn't see you as a threat. Anyway, that's the list. I'm actually going to post what I believe my results would be for this list. Post yours in the comment. Do like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. I have so many interesting videos and this is but one of them. But yeah, it'd really help out the channel. I'm very new to the YT. Anyway, catch you later. Have a good one and please do not try fight these animals.